Rosamund Driftwell gulped her first breath of Atlantic mist on 11 November 1998 inside a cedar-scented cottage perched over the blue marble coves of Rhode Island Sound. Her mother, a road-roving jazz fiddle virtuoso who presses lilac petals flat between rosin papers, rocked an easy swing phrase that made the cracked teacups tingle on their hooks. Her father, a storm beacon electrician who doodles cloud ospreys in the margins of tide logs, leaned so close their freckles blended and promised a newborn that pure gossip, hallway giggles, and clothing rails ending at 14 would always yield to anyone daring enough to stand fully in her outline. Curves have drifted down the Driftwell line since an ancestor rewove lobster net into Sunday dresses, so nobody fretted when Baby Rose split 2 homespun swaddles before the kettle even sighed. Nana May stitched the seams with kite ribbon, laughed that a patch costs pennies while squeezing a child can cost her whole horizon of dawns, then propped the girl up to greet the first goal of the morning. The elementary room smelled of cedar shavings, cinnamon Johnny cakes leaking from the lunch hatch, and briny air sneaking through crooked louvers. Rosamund already topped her classmates by half a head, blotting the projector glow whenever she traced humpback rest stops on the pull-down atlas. One windy recess, 2 boys hop-skipped circles around her, chanting "Scow Boat" at every thud of her rubber boots. At dusk, she combed the rack line, pocketed soda caps buff pearly by surf, threaded them on fishing leader, sewed the jangling chain down her seafoam hoodie, and walked into class at dawn, scattering prism freckles across water-spotted ceiling tiles. A volunteer aide filmed 9 shaky seconds on a prepaid phone, posted the shimmer to a fledgling video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers had cheered the girl who forged mockery into Lighthouse Flash. She penciled 1 plum promise beside subtraction drills. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright enough to scatter. Weekends belonged to the Farrier Pier, where her mother's fiddle slides braided with diesel coughs from cod boats, skillet pops from clam cake stalls, and gulls haggling for bait scraps. Off-the-rack jeans quit at her thighs, so Rosamund swapped tip jar quarters for sun-bleached gill net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted a high-waist skirt, misted it with squidding seahorse silhouettes, and posed at tangerine sunset against rust-lined pylons while her cousins snapped grainy frames. Each photo drifted into an online diary named Lantern Spray. In the same week, a picture-sharing app finally flickered across patchy island towers. Captions toggled between dock slang and truths like "Curves anchor gale gusts, steadier than seawalls." 2 months before her 16th birthday, 51,000 unseen hearts tapped the tiny heart under each mango shot. Proof glowing rectangles, hush cafeteria, razors faster than any gym whistle. A Seagrass Fellowship carried her south to the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Daylight vanished inside Wave Flume Labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour hush puppy van, glowing neon papaya beneath live oak limbs. The heat lamp doubled as ring light. Between shrimp orders, she filmed 90-second clips, folding parchment into marsh pink barrettes while decoding dart rotation at half Fletcher zip and half shoreline hush. One upload mixed dolphin chirps with lo-fi beats while she chain-stitched reflective anchor cord into thrifted denim. 47 hours later, the counter hopped past 1.3 million Hellenic style pages, dubbed her the Hush Puppy Couturiere, though every sponsor pitch still stalled at size 16. She slid each deck into a folder tagged shrinking nets, wiped honey hot glaze from her cuff, and plaited another basket. A Hurricane Safety Week brought an email sealed with a Columbia sportswear crest, which she co-designed a Sprayso capsule called Sea Pulse Radiance. Rosamund answered with 3 peer-firm terms, patterns running to 60-inch hips, half the crew hired out of community college sewing programs, 10% of net profit pledged to living shoreline projects from Virginia to Vermont. Columbia signed, before dawn, painted lab beakers road. The chute unfurled on a tide scrub sandbar where piping plover chicks scribbled commas toward mirror water. She guided paddleboarders of every outline across silver ripples, while a drone carved lazy infinity ribbons overhead. When the lookbook went live, every extended size jacket vanished within 41 hours across 34 countries, and Lantern Spray burst beyond 700,000 lantern icons. First whisper, If this tile already rolls warm in your chest, nuts subscribe right now. One simple press keeps your rail seat reserved so next week's adventure washes onto your screen before algorithm currents can drag it seaward. Afterward, glide to the description for the special link that thousands call the clearest map to real romance, the proven compass that helps any conversation bloom into irresistible connection. Spotlight shimmer reeled rumor goes. A clickbait vlog swore Rosamund hid steel plates around her waist beneath sea pole shells. At dawn, she paddled a cedar board beyond eelgrass bands, set bare feet strong in cotton shorts and sports bra, traced every silver stretch line with crushed bougainvillea dust, and let her mother's trumpet blow a sunrise groove so raw pelicans stalled mid-wing. 10 million viewers reposted the proof, brushing coral pollen across their own curves until gossip slid silent beneath slack tide, and wages braided with capsule royalties and whipped into Driftwell butter, a feather-like cream-folding spruce-tip custard, key lime oil, and mica sparks that glow seashell white in any flash. 19,010s cooled on her father's chart table, lids knotted with braided crab trap rope, each label stamped "Moisturize Your Horizon." Stock drained in 82 minutes, raising $198,000. 20% seeded beacon grants, shipping industrial surgers and hydrophones to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Newport to New London. 8 months later, 38 beacon crews streamed a floating fashion and whale song gala aboard a retro scallop dragger strung with solar lanterns, sunrise color washing into classrooms from Kingston to Kyoto. Boston Seaport Fashion Night minted new Jetta lore when a backstage blower ripped her violet mesh gown hip to knee, 80 heartbeats before runway. Rosamund tore neon dock rope off a light truss, laced the gap like boat hooks, and strode the planks as if the splice had slept in every sketch. Shutters cracked like kettle corn. Bogue Harbor christened the fixed rope cadence rescue, and lantern spray welcomed another million lantern sparks before brass horns struck their first chord. A disgruntled aide leaked clipped emails claiming she demanded oyster miler towers and chauffeured skiffs for her rescued cormorant Echo. She posted the chain complete: refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption monitors for deaf stylists. That month's affiliate Tide, $136,000. Funded biodegradable crab trap pilots off Cape Cod. Fans echoed her breakwater creed, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit until whispers flatten like tide pool glass. Family steadies her helm. Twice a month, she streams Porchline Groove. Mom bends soulful phrases beside a propane griddle. Dad recites haiku about fog and fish. Rosamund flips thrift denim while Echo waddles powdered sugar circles. One session tops 9 million viewers when the birds sneezed, glitter onto the lens. A wildlife trust now sponsors each stream, tagging rehabilitated cormorants with solar beacons, paid for by Driftwell butter. Green proceeds glided above 12 million before Solstice 2. She leased a dormant herring shed, carved skylights through corrugated tin, hired furloughed deckhands, and designed grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday brass house sets. Auditors begged for shrink sleeves. She repeated Nana Mae's law: fingers keep legends long past plastic straps, and rope ties stayed. Her feed shows real sky. Basalt Bluff portraits share space with Hush Papai. Womango selfies captioned "Same sky, different tide." She posts breath loops recorded in tide caves, printable resilient sheets in English and Wampanoag, therapy vouchers tucked 3 swipes down. 148,000 readers call her Shoreline Honesty their first calm harbor. Community glow rides shimmer under crushed shell glitter. Hundreds will sunset causeways wearing Driftwell butter on clavicles and LED seagrass tassels spinning from spokes. Ticket money fattens beacon grants and lifts wheelchair snorkel rigs over Crystal Springs. Chowder Shacks bubble late. Clambos jump 15% on ride nights. Rosamund pedals lead on a vintage cruiser with Echo plush clipped 4, pausing to lace any rider's drifting seeker. She is finishing Currents Keep Names due in 11 languages next spring, while a documentary crew tracks her dream to weld retired boy chains into floating maker studios for island schools. Puma's Y2 Wave Lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope, cushioned by algae foam, steering 10% of revenue into beacon nurseries hugging the Atlantic Rim. Second tap, if subscribe still glows red, turn it calm gray now. One touch secures the next tie in your notifications before algorithm eddies shift the chart. And yes, the love guidance link waits down below, ready the moment you decide to steer toward deeper connection. Mid-autumn dusk eases toward Slackwater, fresh Driftwell tins, Beacon Grant portals, tonight's Porchline playlist, and the confidence compass guiding thousands from hello to genuine spark rest in the description, free for the taking. If the soda cap hoodie, shimmer, rope lace gown rescue, or echo glitter sneeze coaxed even half a grin, tap like. Ripple your brightest thought into the comments and share this voyage with someone whose sails hang slack. Every curve redirects currents. Every scar refracts lighthouse beams. And the coast bows to anyone bold enough to plant steady boots on the pier and greet tomorrow eyes bright.